with another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. It is Friday. We made it all the way through a week. I hope that came through the storms okay last night. And also, I was out and about around Council Bluffs last night at the Council Bluffs Farmers Market. Had a great time, although it was a bit humid, a little bit stuffy last night. On today's show, we are going to learn more about the Palace in Treynor. Great facility. A lot of folks get married there. There's graduations, there's events, they've even had proms out there. And Lisa Schnepel, she is the director of social media and events at the Palace. And she was kind enough to jump on an interview with me. And we're going to bring you that interview today on Local Roots. I hope you enjoy it. Castle & Associates of American Family Insurance is your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. 4 convenient locations. They're located in Treynor, also in Council Bluffs, Bellevue, and Elkhorn. They are local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. Do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network can help you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place can be critical for many people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. HCAN of Southwest Iowa brings the personal touch to care at home in Glenwood, Red Oak, Clarinda, Council Bluffs, all the surrounding communities. Visit hcan.com/Southwest Iowa to learn more. Joining us this morning, it is, I've been wanting to learn more about this place, and this is the person to learn more about it from, Lisa Schnepel. She is the social media and events manager at the Palace in Treynor. Thank you so much. Boy, you guys have such a cool facility there. That's
Thank you.
I remember once upon a time when I lived in a tourist area out in Denver. It was like I wasn't going to work. It just felt like vacation all the time. Getting that view has to feel similar to what you have.
You know what? It really does. I like to say that the Palace is really a little hidden gem out there. It sits outside of Treynor, so we're rural, but yet we're close to Omaha and Council Bluffs. And I think that just offers a little bit of uniqueness for our facility. It was really a vision that the owners had when they began this idea of creating the Palace and all that it would bring for the area. So it really is beautiful. And I actually live close by, so I get a great view of it every single day. And honestly, it's fantastic. We love it.
You talked about it being hidden. Do you think it still is? Do you think there's still a large group of folks that don't know about you?
I do. You know what? It's always really surprising when people ask what I do or where I work. And I say, well, I work for the Palace Event Center in Treynor, and even local people sometimes have no idea what that is. So we do still have a lot of people out there that just aren't aware of us. And part of that is the fact that if you aren't planning a wedding or an event, you're probably not looking around to see what's out there. A lot of people also think it's still a working farm because it really does look like a farm. And they took a 1930s barn. So if you're not familiar with it, this barn is original. It was built in the 30s. And in 2016, 2017, Craig and Penny Buckingham, the owners, just kind of had this vision one day of what it could become. And so they started renovating. They came up with an idea and a plan, and they opened the Palace Event Center to weddings was kind of their start. Actually, the very first event was prom in April of 19. So we've had several of those. And then from there, they've just continued to build. And we sat down and thought of an idea that while we're close to Omaha and Council Bluffs, staying the night was kind of a big part of weddings. People didn't want to drive or anything. So there's also 2 grain bins on the property that have recently opened, and those are hotel rooms. They're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous, and those are suites, and they're available to everyone. We do them for our wedding guests, but also to the public. So anybody can come out and stay whenever they'd like to. So it's kind of an Airbnb style place where you get in and you can just book it yourself, or you can contact us and we'll get you reserved for that as well.
I wonder if the owners originally got the idea while at something else and taking a look and say, "Oh, we could do this here." That's how my brain works. I go somewhere and I start to look around and I say, "Oh, I could see this over here," and because it's a great way to start getting some thoughts going.
I think that was part of it, but the bigger part was, and it's always kind of been the ongoing joke, was Penny had wanted to retire from her job in healthcare, and her husband said, "You're going to have to find something to do to occupy your time." So they were sitting out having coffee one morning, and she just kind of looked down at the barn and said, "What if?" And I think from that, their dream came true. So it's really been a fun experience. I got to kind of be along for the ride from the beginning and see how everything came about and where it's going. So, like I said, two people sitting down having a cup of coffee and just dreaming about where their retirement and later years would take them. And I think that's what they built.
That's that's exciting for me because I'm a big believer in, you hear people talk about, well, what if it doesn't work? What if this? What if that? Well, that what if also works the other way. What if it does work? What if it
Right.
is successful? What if we can create something that is close enough to the Omaha Metro to be able to take advantage of that market and also in an area that people from other parts of the country would want to come and experience because that's the type of facility you have.
That is definitely. We've been very fortunate. Honestly, some of the people that have found our property, they're not from around the area. We've had couples fly in from Arizona to get married. We've had Hawaii. We've had guests from all over the world, actually. And it's always amazing and fun to listen when people are at an event, whether it be a wedding or a conference, whatever's going on. They always comment like, "This is just truly amazing and not something that we've seen before," or maybe it has. And it's the way that it's run and the people that work there and are behind the scenes and just a part of everything there. We like to think it's a really special place. I think sometimes people are very much just the business side of it, and they've got a routine and they fall into that. And while we have that, I think we're kind of a step above just in some of the personal touches that we offer and the people that are there. So we have a great staff. We've got great people working there, and I think it just all leads to the success of the business, really.
So I would guess then that being summertime, busy season seems to be that's when most folks get married, right?
Very busy season. So we always kind of say we kick off our wedding season in May, and it doesn't stop until towards the middle to end of November. So really from May to November, things are hopping. We've got, weddings every weekend. We've got people staying out at the hotel suites. So a lot going on. But we also do some other things too. And we're trying to bring in some more things during the off season, especially wintertime when people don't have a lot happening. So we every spring and every fall, we always do a craft show. So we've got one coming up November 2nd that will be out there. We also do bridal flea markets, which is kind of a fun event, and actually brides couples, everybody really love it. It's an opportunity for anyone to sell any of their new or gently used wedding items. So everybody gets to get rid of all of their wedding stuff, and upcoming couples really can find a great deal on things. So we've got that. We always do Valentine's Day. We usually have a dinner, and then throughout the past, we've had comedians, dueling pianos, a mentalist. So we always look forward to planning that. And then something new that's going to be coming up, and we're kind of working on this one with Iowa Western right now. So hopefully it'll be kicking off before too long. Is some cooking classes.
Oh, there
So
you go.
yeah, we're gonna try and get in there and see what we can do doing some healthy and nutritional meal planning and cooking classes. So Iowa Western is giving us a hand with that, and we're hoping to have some information as far as when that's going to be started coming up here pretty soon. So some fun things happening.
When you book, obviously for the weekend, you would book a wedding.
Yes.
How much of the week gets taken up with that? Because it's not as if there's not preparation involved with it too. So is it? Do you still maintain availability in the summertime through the week, or is it just all locked up?
No, you know what, we're available all the time. So typically, the prepping and the planning kind of happens in the months prior to it. So a couple will come in, take a tour of the facility, decide whether they're going to book with us or not. And then from that point, we sit down with them and we start planning things like their bar packages, who they'll have on site for catering and decorating, floral, all of those things. But in all reality, it really happens the day of the event. We're up and going very early in the morning, setting up all of their tables and chairs, getting everything ready for the day. Their vendors start coming in, and then the festivities kick off. And when things end at the end of the night, we're there and we're turning it around. So if we've got a Friday and a Saturday wedding, we're up pretty early on Friday morning and we're still up and going Friday night until very early Saturday morning. And that's one thing we kind of pride ourselves in is we don't shut down for those things. We make it happen and we make sure that if you want to have an event the day after a wedding, it's going to take place.
How many people can you accommodate there? I mean, where's your limit?
300 is our limit indoors. So we are limited to the 300. However, outside we've got unlimited space. And so I can say our biggest wedding we actually have had was around 800 people, and they did it in shifts. So we had morning brunch, and they had around 300 or 400 of their guests that morning. They continued throughout the day, and then they had their second set of guests, and everybody joined them for dinner in the evening. So we've done some different things like that. We've had people set up outdoor tents so that they can accommodate more. So yeah, just indoor seating though, 300 is our max for that, but the rest of it is unlimited.
When you did the event by shifts, was that an idea that you came up with, or did they present it to you, say, hey, we could do it this way to still use you?
Well, originally they presented and said we'd like to have 800 people here all day long, and unfortunately, fire marshals don't allow that. So we sat down together and kind of figured out how that would work, and they were willing to do a whole day of celebrating, and it worked out fantastic. So
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's like you get tickets to the main show. So you've got you've got the opening acts through the day, and then the main show later on that day for the wedding. That's actually a really cool idea. It's not something I've heard of before.
Yeah, it was, like I said, phenomenal. So, we've really, weddings especially, we really see a variety of styles of weddings. And so we have from very small, we've had weddings out there that are 25 or 50 people all the way up to our capacity. And you get some that are very simple and very elaborate on the other side of it. So on the personal side, it's fantastic to get to see what all of the decorators and florists and other wedding vendors can really do in their abilities. It's phenomenal. So I personally have learned a lot about the wedding industry just from being around those people and have met a lot of wonderful people.
So for you, did you have a background in doing any of event planning or anything like that before you got involved with the palace?
No, I did not. I worked for CHI hospitals
Hmm.
for 15 years as their insurance billing manager, and then for some private healthcare companies. And I actually farm full time with my husband, but Craig and Penny are our neighbors. And when they started tossing around this idea, I said to Penny, "Well, if you ever need help, you just let me know and I'll help you out." And she said, "You know what? I think it would be fun. Let's try and do this." And so her and I would sit down every week and kind of come up with crazy ideas. And Craig would sit back and let the two of us, you know, just have our crazy thoughts. And you know what? It really was a fantastic work environment and still is. So
When you think about where things were in the beginning, was this the plan where you are now, or has it evolved into something that maybe you couldn't envision at the time of what it is that you were doing?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think I think Craig and Penny definitely had visions of what it could be one day. And then we kind of reality set in when everything started going and we thought, oh wow, this is a lot, because what people don't realize is, especially as owners, they've given up every weekend to other people's weddings and events and things like that. And so, at one point, it's kind of the thought of like, can we keep doing this? Can we sustain this and continuing to do what we're doing? But then you really get involved with the joy that's around everybody and just all of the wonderful people that you meet along the way. And I think that is what keeps him, Craig, going and really wanting to expand and build on what's there, and we toss around other ideas right now and other things that are a possibility and so it'll be interesting to see over the next few years if those come to fruition or if it's kind of a little dream for right now.
I can envision so many different things that hurdles that you would need to cross. Parking would be one. Obviously, with all these people coming out, they have to have a place to park. I'm several years ago, I had gone over to the state fair in Iowa, in Des Moines, where they park on the grass,
Yep.
and then we got a 3 inches of rain in about 45 minutes. And yeah, I wasn't going anywhere because I
Oh,
was stuck. And
yeah.
so, these are the types of things when you have an event out in the country, you have to anticipate and plan for and make sure that everything is covered.
So, first of all, we're really lucky that the event center is directly off of Highway 92. It just
Hmm.
sits right on the south side. Craig has done a fantastic job with building a parking lot. So, our parking lot, it can accommodate multiple hundred vehicles. So, we've been really fortunate so far that parking in the grass hasn't really had to take place. Now we've got the hotel suites, and so we've got he's expanded the concrete in the parking lot and some things like that. So knock on wood, so far we have not experienced having to park
Right.
because that is one of the things that photographers, we really maintain the property very well because of all the photos that are taken there throughout events, whether it be graduation ceremonies, conferences, things like that, and as well as weddings. So we have drones. People bring out drones and do video and things. So again, we kind of really take a lot of time to maintain the yards and trees and any plants and things like that so that we know they're getting good photos. Everything looks great when they're getting their pictures back because you know what, we're in a lot of lifelong memory photos for people. So we definitely want to take care of everything.
So the meat and potatoes sounds like it's weddings. Have other special events, corporate events, different things like that going on out there? I'm imagining all kinds of things that could happen.
Yes, so we've been very fortunate to have a lot of different corporate events out there. We've had some small business retreats. We've got a couple of businesses that they do their Christmas parties out there every year. We've had several speakers, whether they be ag related, political based. We've had some religious speakers out there. So kind of a wide variety, and really there's no limitations on what we can do out there. So we're always looking for more corporate events. We really like those. Typically they're a little bit less busy than a wedding as far as the staff needed and things going on. So they're just really a great event, and again, it's a really great way to network with people. So we really enjoy, the corporate and the conferences and things like that. So yeah, we're always, like I said, open to anything. People bring us ideas all the time and ask for certain things, and so we try to do our best to accommodate really anything that you're looking for. I think the space leads itself to very welcoming. And again, it's an open, big space. We've got a lot of state of the art sound systems, TVs, and things like that. So I think if you can dream it, we could possibly make that a reality.
Yeah, audio is a big part. I mean, I'm kind of a geek about audio, so that is a big part of it. You want to make sure that if you're having a large event, that everybody can hear and they can hear comfortably. Because if you get into a very echoey space, and then yeah, okay, there's sound, but we can't really understand it very much, and so that's so many different moving parts into there that it sounds like you guys have just done a great job of thinking ahead and making sure that everything's taken care of.
When they were renovating the barn into what it is today, that was really a lot of the discussion was, what do we need to really make sure that this is state of the art, that it works well for everybody. And of course, we said there's going to be music. There's always going to be music, and so we did take into consideration, we really need to make sure that the sound is one of those things. And sound wasn't the only thing. Since renovating, there's actually been an addition put on, because after it was all said and done, we decided, you know what, we also want to be environmentally friendly, and so we went to all real dishware as opposed to disposable things. So we added on a prep kitchen and a catering space, as well as some storage. And so we have staff that come in, and they work during events, and they take care of doing all of the dishes for us, cleaning tables and everything, and making sure that everything stays as environmentally safe and working as we can. So I think that was a big push, for us, was we just want to do a little bit of good for the environment too. And it was always shocking how many disposable plates and silverware and cups you could go through in an evening. And so this is just our little way of helping out. So we do that as well. And again, just some forethought into some of those things. And we are learning along the way. So we're always making changes, but those were really two big things that we put a lot of thought into at the inception of all of this.
These are the things, again, why I wanted to talk with you, Lisa, and to learn more about you, because this is what makes communities grow. When you have spaces like this, and so now you just talked about staffing, so you're providing jobs, you're providing business opportunities for other small entrepreneurs, whether it be caterers or I'm sure DJs or anybody else that can use this event center that to come out and be able to partner with the folks that are coming in for the wedding. There's so many things that kind of fly under the radar that you don't even think about, that when you have your location and other businesses in other industries, that's what makes a community grow. And that's what it's one of the reasons why I have this show, because we want to be able to tell the stories of what's going on in these smaller communities, just like yours. I mean, you could probably drop this facility into any market in the country and it would do very well, but you're right here. So
Right.
that's the cool part about it.
It is. And a big part for me, the craft shows. I really take a lot of time in curating the craft shows and the bridal expo. And honestly, that to me is really interesting, because you have a lot of independent people that are local, that are trying to kick off a small business,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be at home or in a shop and things like that. And so we get to see all of that. We've actually, worked with some of those vendors now that we wouldn't have had we not had these events. It's really a great place. Like I said, networking is a big part of it. As small business owners, we're always looking to work with other businesses in the place and to cross promote. And so there's actually a core group that are always behind the scenes with craft shows in Treynor and other areas, and we all kind of work together to find new people and up and coming and things like that as well. So I watch at weddings for the up and coming new caterers and bakers and things like that, because brides are also always looking for something different, and we want to be able to give them that information and refer them on to the people that we've seen and we know they do a great job. So I think that's part of it too. People that work with us then also go out and tell others about us. And so spreading that word is really about working with those small businesses as well as the big. That's always great. But I feel like in small towns, word spreads a little quicker when you work with the small businesses in the areas.
That's very, very true. That and it's more true, I think, in small towns than even in larger towns. It's not like it's exclusive, but it is even more critical that relationship building is the most important factor in doing business in a smaller community. That your neighbors need to know you, and they need to trust that you do what you say you're going to do. And if you have that, that's the core. And then you can build from there.
Definitely. I truly believe that. I mean, the relationships that we've gone into over the years, it's just fantastic. And I still have, and I know Craig does too, people that got married there and they reach out and say, "Hey, we're going to be having our first child," or "Hey, this life moment happened." And so they've become almost an extended family for us. And that's one of, I think, to me, most rewarding things about this is, again, really the relationships that you've built and the people that you meet along the way. Some you never forget. And so that part of it really for me is just kind of a highlight, and the biggest joy of the job is just all of the people that you meet along the way, and all of the great things that you get to be a part of.
Is the best starting point for you to begin conversations on your website? Is it to reach out to you? Is that the best way to do it?
Yes. So they can, I always tell everyone I'm available. You can call me, you can email me, you can text me. I'll answer anything. But honestly, if you go out to our website, that's got all of the current information, the most accurate information. Our website designer, Katie Castle, does a fantastic job for us with that. And so if you're looking for what days are available, what are some pricing options, how to book the hotel suites, everything is right there at palacebarn.com. On the other side of it, if you're wanting to inquire about our special events, our craft shows, our bridal expos, we've got palaceevents01@gmail.com. And I answer all of those emails as well. Facebook, we get the messages and I see them, and if I can respond to them, I respond to them. But we get an overwhelming amount of those messages, so it's not always very prompt. So I always tell people, if you need to get a hold of us, give us a call or send us an email or hop on that website, and you can contact us through us, and we'll get back to you right away. So we're pretty prompt about that. So we do pride ourselves on that. So definitely reach out, and Craig or I will definitely get you the information that you need.
Well, she is Lisa Schnepel, social media and events manager at the Palace and Treynor. Grateful for your time. I'm assuming you've done about 1,000 of these podcasts because you sound like an old pro. So you do just fine. But congratulations on all of the success so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing even more happening for you there.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Todd.
When you need precision metal fabrication done right, jump online, go to foxcofab.com and learn more about Foxco Fabrication. Custom welding, large-scale manufacturing, they can handle metal etching, metal signs, whatever you can come up with. If it's made of metal, they can handle it. So go to foxcofab.com to learn more. And if you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. Fast, reliable service, expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. And if this summer heat has had the air conditioner not working to its best, it may be time to get it serviced. And AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning of Council Bluffs can handle that. AirServeCouncilBluffs.com or WaldsteinPlumbing.com. Those are the websites you need to keep track of. That's going to wrap up a week. We are very grateful for all of the positive comments, all the folks that have been watching. Of course, if you like what you see, please hit the like button, or even better, hit the share button. And that is going to spread the show out even farther, and more folks can see everything that's happening here in our little corner of the world in Southwest Iowa. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you back here again on Monday morning.